And good morning. Welcome to Bead Maker and Coffee, Post SEMA edition 2025, with our host, Sydney Breakwin. With us are the dynamic duo of Bob and Dave Phillips, who are just back from SEMA themselves. So welcome, guys. Welcome to the party.
Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Keith, I thought it was interesting looking at that clip. There's Mark, Lizette, Akib, and Catherine, which we all saw SEMA in that clip, in the opening clip.
Sometimes I pick them for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought, well, God, I've got to get people we know in there, and we didn't really have any footage roll from SEMA this year, so there we go. Yeah. And that was actually the training that was right before SEMA a couple of years ago. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, how are you guys?
Probably not as tired as you, Sid, but yeah.
Probably. I got in my car this morning at 6:30 to go get coffee, and I was like, wow, I haven't driven my car since I got home. Like I haven't even, oh my gosh, I haven't even left my house.
I got up on Saturday morning and went to the gym, and there was not a lot of power in the unit here. It was just really working. Yeah. It was a slow weekend, that was for sure. And I think last night I went to bed at 7:30. So
oh my gosh,
it was like lights out.
Yeah.
Good idea.
I should have, but I had football to catch up on. Well, good. Well, SEMA week was good. How'd everybody feel about it?
Great.
Excellent.
Well, I mean, I thought SEMA was great.
Yeah, I did too. It's funny who, depending on who you talk to, some people were like, oh no, it's dead, there's way less people, and then other people were like, there's way more people. So I felt like it was like slightly down, like maybe 15%, but honestly I thought that like the conversations were great. I thought I didn't feel as stressed to have conversations with people. I felt like there was enough time. It wasn't as stressful. It was all great conversation. I thought it was great. I thought the attendance was great. I didn't think that it was, super down. I did hear, and I don't know why, I did hear that like the other halls were way busier than ours, which kind of surprised me. Because I thought ours was really busy, but I thought it was great. I thought there was plenty of people.
I thought the attendance was fine. It's like the right people show up, right? I mean, I mean, the only thing I would say is like Friday afternoon, from like 2 o'clock on.
Yeah.
Because basically, because they have what's it called? Ignite. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Yeah. SEMA Ignite. Yeah.
Everybody leaves.
Right. To go get a spot.
To go get a spot. So they're from 1 o'clock. It's like dead. There's no one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, they could probably close it down a little bit early. I did feel like the public day was far less attended than in the past. And I think there was probably a couple reasons for that. I think that, obviously people probably weren't traveling just for one day like they did in the past, maybe just because of the cost of travel. So I think it was limited to more, local public. So I did feel like attendance Friday was definitely down. And then, like you say, people went outside earlier that, I saw a lot of booths in the back starting to pack up early, and maybe they knew or something. But
the other thing too is I think our hall is more of a professional hall. It's
right?
Really
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So
you're not going to check out cars in our hall.
Right. So more people for the public are looking at the show cars and stuff like that for sure.
Exactly. The off-road area in our hall was pretty cool too. I did get a chance to finally watch the show after many years, and that was fun.
Yeah.
And again, maybe part of it was the airline thing. I mean, you got to remember it kind of hit Thursday night, so who knows what that did to Friday.
All I know is everybody in our booth on Wednesday and Thursday started tracking their flights. Like we could be home, right?
It was the big subject of conversation. Yeah,
exactly.
I was looking up rental cars. I was going to drive home. Fortunately, my flight got off about 45 minutes late, but it went just fine. So, Dave, you came home last because
I came home yesterday.
What did you do in Vegas?
Everything worked fine. We got, I felt like we were fortunate, and but everything worked out fine. Yeah.
Good. I was kind of tracking on Facebook. I saw a lot of our friends back east did not get home until late Saturday and or yesterday, which is
Well,
crazy.
I mean, I was thinking of you, Sid, because I left you guys, in the restaurant at
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
8:45,
Yeah.
and my
Yeah.
flight was on time, so that was great. But the other guy I was thinking, Todd Mason, our marketing director, he got on the plane like at 11. Like, what time did you get home? He goes, 11 a.m. the next day. I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
Well, and
being on one plane on the West Coast is huge.
yeah, we were joking at dinner saying Bob was going to land before we took off. We were supposed to leave at exactly the same time. And we were joking because we were sitting there and like every 20 minutes we'd get another delay. And then we were joking that he was going to get home before we took off. And I think you got home like an hour and a half before we
I know.
even
I texted you. I
boarded
said,
or something.
landed. You're like, great.
Yeah. Yeah, we're still sitting here.
Good
Yeah.
for you. Great.
Yeah. That was pretty crazy. And then I had to drive home. Like everybody else got to get in an Uber, but I parked at the airport. So then I was like, oh, now I actually have to like function. This is
Well,
great. It's
no
3:30 in the
traffic.
morning. Yeah, there was no traffic, but I did have to like be awake and think. So it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, no, that for me, that's always the thing. The drive home when we get back is brutal because it's an hour.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
All
there's
right.
my
Well,
chat.
we
I
got
had
some
my chat
comments.
closed. There we go.
For those who don't know who Bucky VW is, Mr. Dewar, good to see you on here.
Yes.
You were at the right place, dude. But remember, you showed up on Tuesday night. No, you weren't there for the full bill. So,
Yes.
let's increase the stamina for next year. We'll get you fit for it, and you can make a run
Yes.
4 day.
Alex was worried about getting the SEMA flu like everyone talks about. And honestly, I feel fine too, other than just being completely exhausted.
Yeah.
But no cold, I didn't lose my voice, no congestion. So yeah, I'm totally good on that front too, which I know that's what everybody was afraid of.
So, what we did is on Friday night after the show, we went to see the Eagles.
Oh, fun.
And in the Sphere, and that was really cool. But I don't think the show stopped me from singing at all.
Cool. That's awesome. How was the Sphere? Yeah.
Oh, it's really cool. It was a great experience. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I went to the Wizard of Oz. It's such a cool place.
They call it, a media experience versus just a concert. And I would say that's true.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very cool.
Good morning, Frank from Pittsburgh. Yes.
Good morning.
Yeah. And we even got to see Kirby at the show this year. So that was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's there. No, you were coming, Kirby.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. It was awesome to see you.
Was he in our booth?
He was at the meet and greet. I don't know if he dropped into our booth or not. I was a little busy the whole time. So, yeah. And then
Very
Mr.
cool.
Seiler Sales, they were not there, but congratulations on your new showroom and your new store. That's awesome. Bob, I know, sent them a little gift pack of congratulations toys.
Yeah. Keith, before we get too far into the questions, should we talk about, just for fun? I mean, I know none of us detailed
What was our product of the week?
but should we still talk about, because here's what I'm thinking is, like, what was the one thing that when people came in the booth that you were drawn to because everybody said, what do you have this year, right? And we didn't have anything new. So what was the product that we were drawn to that we wanted to talk about first?
Oh, you guys got to go first. We'll have Dave go first.
Oh, you go, Dave.
Well, no, I actually did use a product yesterday because I got home and my car was covered in sap.
Oh.
And so, I just couldn't stand it. It was like I couldn't help it. I was like, the first thing I did was I washed my car and I used Absolute, and hosed it a bit because it just had pine needles and stuff all over it too. So I put a fair amount of water to start with, but boy, it worked like a charm. I mean, literally. Cool. I mean, a lot of times I don't know what the deal is with sap, because some of the sap that falls on my car is not water soluble, and this stuff, same tree, it is, but it turned out fantastic. It was really easy to do. Probably took me 15 minutes. Nice. Straight off the plane, literally. Uber.
Oh my goodness.
Wash the car. So Absolute was great. I did end up, a lot of people, like to hear about rinseless wash. So I would say that was also kind of the answer to the same question. I kept, bringing people over to Absolute, kind of explaining, sometimes explaining the process, sometimes hearing their stories, a lot of times how much they like the product and that sort of stuff. So I would say that was where I went a lot of times.
Nice. All right, Bob.
Bob, what do you got?
So, obviously we were focusing on the recovery series, right? But
Mhm.
I think, it's obviously there's a lot of people that haven't tried rehab or intervention or therapy, but I was
Mhm.
also impressed on how many people have.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
then also, I think what was kind of interesting is typically in the paint correction space, when you say, hey, have you checked out rehab? You get 50-50 from customers. They're like, yeah, it's okay. I still like this. There's one unifying factor about rehab. If
Yeah.
anybody's tried it, they
Yeah.
love it, and it's
Mhm.
changed their paint correction,
Yeah.
which was, really, I think, just that's cool, because I think
Yep.
we've got such a long way to go with that product in terms of impacting the market. But yeah, pretty much it's united. Everybody's like, yeah, I like rehab.
Yeah, for sure. That was fun to focus on that. For me, it's going to be release because, every time we were going around kind of, what our last year looked like, and when I got to release, they would go, "Now this is the one that I don't really understand," and so I loved being able to kind of explain that and dive in deep to it, and then, I would tell everybody like, "This is the one that like I actually love this because everybody." Is like, well, why would I need that? I don't get the point of it. Why wouldn't we just use something else? And so when I could dive in deep on why we released release, then and make it make sense. And they were like, oh, and being able to tell them that still, again, I've yet to meet a single person who has actually used it and not went, oh, now I get it. You know, and so that was fun. And usually everybody right after that was like, oh yeah, I want to try it now. And so I enjoyed talking about release probably the most. Keith?
MC Keith.
Reflect. I actually went
Yeah.
over and used it on the truck in the 3D booth, and people were just like,
Nice.
"Whoa!"
Mhm.
You think about it. How can a glass product, a spray glass product like that, be that kind of a pop type
Mhm.
thing? But it just the windows just look different. They just
Mhm.
have you know a look to them, and then the feel.
Mhm.
That's the other thing. You tell everybody to drag their fingers across it, and they're like, "Oh my goodness, what happened?" And that truck was dialed, right? There was not a
Mhm.
flaw on it, and so
Yeah.
to be able to add a little thing to a truck, a show truck like that,
Mhm.
people, I think there's something to that. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
reflect was just really wicked.
But I think, since it's the SEMA recap, we should talk about like what was, what was our big takeaway from SEMA, right? I
From
mean, that's
SEMA, yeah.
interesting. And you mentioned the truck, Keith. I will tell you this, I'm not a car in the booth guy, but I will have to tell you that truck, that
Was
thing's
cool.
insane. I mean, it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
really cool.
Well, and it was
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
our colors, so there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, and I mean, the fact that thing was 1,400 horsepower, and that guy,
Mhm.
he was so
Yeah.
passionate about it. So great to have that truck in our.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like,
And he
okay.
was great. It was
Yeah.
nice to have him there
Yeah,
too.
no, he
Yeah.
was
That was
fantastic to have in the booth. He worked the booth harder than we did. That was
He
awesome.
absolutely worked the booth harder than we did. Randy, he was crazy. And he's a local guy. He lives in San Jose, so he's close to us. So I hope I,
yeah.
get to see him again. But
Yeah.
yeah. Also, I think for me, the ATG Power Hour party,
Mhm.
that was a hit.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, I can't wait for that next year, right? I think, because the first year you do something, people are into it. Maybe the second year,
Mhm.
they'll, get a little more
Mhm.
engaged. So I thought that was cool.
But I
Yeah.
thought it
No, I
was
thought that
great.
came
I
off
thought it
good.
was perfect attendance. And
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, we had a full booth, so it was great.
It
That's
was
what it was
exactly what
supposed
we
to be.
wanted it to be. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought it worked out great, and I was impressed at how many of our distributors were at SEMA, how many, detailers that we knew. I thought that was the cool thing, was still, a lot of familiar faces and, what's better than having one place where you get to see so many of your favorite people all in one week? Like, that's my takeaway. I mean, I love SEMA for that reason. Distributors, detailers, friends in the industry, like, what a great week to, just see so many people and faces that you adore.
And I think last year, we added, quite a few new distribution partners. I
Mhm.
think what's really interesting is that, they take the product on last year and then you get to see them a year later.
Yeah.
And when you
Yeah.
ask them how it's going, they're like, "Oh my God, dude,
Mhm.
you guys, you're our leading brand. You're killing it in the store. Our customers love it." I mean, that's the paycheck for SEMA for sure.
Yeah.
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 And we got to have some really meaningful conversations with partners this year,
Mhm.
which, for me is always it's a whole lot better than getting on 27 planes to go see everybody. They all come to us. And so we get that opportunity to really sit down and have an in-depth conversation about how we're doing. And, we did a little research this year, market research. Dave, the question of the day was, what product would you like? And we'll throw it out here that we are not making that you would like to see us make. So we'll give everybody a post SEMA opportunity to ask that question or ask for their product. Not making any promises we'll make it, but we'll ask the question.
So. No, but it's really great to have direct input like that, and people gave it some thought, which was nice. And or some people, there were some people that sat down and thought about it a little bit, and we wouldn't just take the first thing. We would go for a couple of ideas so that they had to put a little bit more thought into it. And some people's like they were like, oh, I wanted this for like 3 or 4 or 5 years now. We need to jump on it. So it was really cool.
Yeah. All right. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning.
Yes, we are back from SEMA and we're about to attack. We're ready to go.
We are.
So Gabriel, dude, I really would love to have him come to SEMA one year, but I think we may have sent some things with Patrick back to the.
Yes, we may have snuck some stuff back in someone's suitcase.
Yes, so be on the lookout.
I was going to mention that too, like all of the international distributors we got to see. There was a lot from all over. That was really cool.
More than we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, that was super cool.
Walter and the LATAM contingent were strong this year. It was good.
Yes. Good morning, Chad. I hope you got home. I heard Chad had some trouble getting home. I hope you made it home.
Yeah. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Sarah.
It's snowing in Ontario. Yeah, that Josh texted me during the Oregon game, of course, because it was Oregon, Iowa. Sorry, Josh. Bummer event. But he said
that was a bummer.
Bummer. He says now it's freaking snowing, and I'm like, oh, sorry. Dude.
Well, I just perchance looked at the weather in Detroit. It was 42 and snowing.
Yeah.
It was 75 and sunny. So I said, oh, we're W, right?
Yeah.
W. Yeah.
That's when it's officially post SEMA is when it starts snowing everywhere.
Yeah.
So. Good morning, Jeff. How are you at Fast Eddie's?
Good morning, Jeff.
Lots of good mornings. Here's someone we got to see at the show. Fred. Fred, it was great to have you in the booth. Great for you to drop by. Thank you for doing that.
Yes. Good morning, Fred.
All right. Good morning, Ron, from chilly, rain-soaked Massachusetts. Well, it does rain there, yeah.
Yeah, it looked like definitely the East Coast had some issues. Where was it snowing yesterday during football? Chicago? I think it was in Chicago.
It was Chicago.
That was not fun either.
Yep. Yeah, sorry, Alan. I'd love to say that you weren't missed, but you were. We would love to have had you there, but I know you're dominating.
He was holding down the HEG Scotland, right?
He was. Yeah. Because it needs to be held down.
Yeah, definitely missed Alan. Fred, my throat is scratchy and I know something's coming. Get on that emergency.
Yep. First indication of the SEMA flu. So, been sick since 1 a.m. today. Big thanks, Keith, for the idea of the shoes in the fridge. Yes,
that was a big hit across SEMA. We heard about that multiple times.
I don't know.
Yeah. So 2 weeks.
Have you ever
2 weeks ago? Yeah, 2 weeks ago on Bead Maker and Coffee, Keith mentioned it, and I was surprised at how many people at SEMA brought it up. Like everybody that went tried it.
I'm just imagining everybody in the Palms unloading their fridge with all the alcohol bottles
and their charge that they have now.
And then trying to put all the bottles back, and then they're charging them for all the alcohol, right?
Right. Yeah, totally.
Well, you see, if we just stayed, at a non casino, we probably could have used the fridge, but
you don't dare touch anything in the fridge of the Palms, man. They set that thing up for like a party.
To quote the line from Ocean's 11, I got 2 words for you: minibar.
Yeah.
So
I was afraid to take anything out of mine, so I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't even touch that door. I didn't want to set the alarm off. So Good morning, Joe. Miguel, we missed you.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, let's go. It was lovely to see everyone at SEMA. Yes, it was.
It was you guys too. There was such a great group there together, right? We had Steve, Dewar, so many people. It was awesome.
Yes.
Good
Good
morning,
morning, everyone. Can't wait
Amber.
to hear SEMA stories. Hope everyone had a great time. We did. We had a great time.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a great week. Not that SEMA's ever bad, but like every year it's like, oh, that was great. But they're all so different. I think that's what's kind of crazy. They really are like different. But yeah, no, it was great.
Yeah.
Of
Well, Fred, yes,
course.
Alex is a special person in our industry. It was
Yeah.
awesome to have him at SEMA
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
The only negative to that was his dynamic partner was not there, and Joey Bolinski.
Yeah, we did
Maybe we'll
miss
wake up early
Joey.
for Bead Maker and Coffee today.
What was Joey just didn't want, because I know he was there
He had
last year.
Yeah, he had some family stuff. He was supposed to be there, and then kind of at the last minute, he had to cancel, and he was very sad, and I felt bad for him being out that week. He was sad that everybody else was there together, but we
I
missed
think
Joey.
last year was his first year, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I think the thing is we only get him for one or the other, either Monterey or SEMA. You don't get him for both. He's very
Right,
choosy.
yeah.
He's very
Yeah,
picky
he
about
will
what
be
he
back for TRCMA, so that's good news.
That's good. Well, yes, Jeff, we love the paint recovery line as well. And as you said, Bob, it changed his life. So there you go.
Mhm.
Change your life.
Good
Very
morning,
much
Aaron.
so.
I'm willing to bet it's snowing or about to snow in Denver this week. So,
Yeah, yikes.
yeah. Well, it's
I'm
that
not
time
ready
of
for
year.
snow.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for snow.
Okay, question about Reflect. Good thing we got Dave here. Can it be applied to coated glass or is it intended for uncoated glass?
Oh, absolutely. Coated glass works great. Works on both, either
Both,
one.
yep. Yeah.
So yeah, it adds another layer that bonds well with the coating. So it works perfect for that.
I haven't met any glass yet that Reflect doesn't like.
Yep. Including window tint and film and all that stuff.
That should be a t-shirt.
Great on all of it.
That should be a
I know.
t-shirt.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris says, on my second bottle of rehab, it's my starting point now for test spots and usually just make a pad adjustment to obtain the pad and polish team up. Really want to try intervention, but it's been out of stock at my suppliers. Yes, but we've solved that. So look for it here in the very near future. It should be on their next order. Because
I would say, it was really interesting to be able to, in explaining the paint recovery series, the storyline of of when you're doing demos where we would typically bring out 3 or 4 products and 3 or 4 pads, and now we just grab rehab and a couple of pads. I thought that was a really good storyline. I thought it really presented the product well.
Yeah, I've taken to using it in training because if you think about it, if you've got 3 pads and you've got 4 products or vice versa, you get 12 options. That's a lot.
I mean, rehab does 80% of the work.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
realistically, most of the detailers I talk to, it's like, why would you use intervention, right? Because the goal is one step, right?
Yeah. The place that I use it the most is most commonly, I do, a couple paint corrections a week. And I would say that more often than not, just because I have it, it makes it a little bit easier, is I use it on the hoods. So, the hood of the car is always the worst. And so sometimes I can save myself time if I go over the hood with intervention and then a quick buzz with therapy. Sometimes that can be faster than, trying to get a good, even result with rehab if the hood's really deteriorated. So that's kind of where I throw it in the most than doing a typical 2-step. But man, when I have to do that, I'm so thankful for it, for sure.
The other comment I got during the show is a couple of people came up to me and kind of said, well, I don't find that intervention is cutting that much more than rehab. And I said, well, yeah, but if you're not dealing with a hard paint, that's when you'll really differentiate the 2 products. Is if you're on a kind of a softer, not softer, but an average, a normal paint, rehab's gonna cut fine. It's when you get to a really hard paint that you go, oh, I just need this extra.
Also, I think a lot of detailers identify, this is a conversation I had with a couple people, is, we identify cutting or aggressiveness with marks.
Oh, true.
So intervention, it leaves a haze, but there's no this is not scouring the paint where it's leaving deep marks or haze, right?
Right. And
But
where I
it is
noticed the biggest
deceptively effective.
difference,
Yeah.
yeah, I noticed a huge difference when using like cutting pads. So wools, microfibers, you definitely are going to get a lot more cut with those, using intervention versus rehab. Like if you really need to see the difference in cut, use a wool or a microfiber. Foam is just inherently going to finish better. And so you're going to, even though you are doing more cutting, it's also finishing better. So you're assuming you're not getting as much cut because it's not leaving behind as much haze. But if you use rehab on a wool or microfiber pad and then use intervention on a wool or microfiber pad and really look at your level of correction, it's significantly more.
Yeah. But can we talk about, because you just said it, Sid, you buzz the paint with therapy. I mean, how amazing is therapy that, normally when we do a two-step process or multi-step process, we're very intentional with the correction, and then we have to be very intentional with the polish to really get the result. You don't. You just buzz that sucker and bam, it just pops right out at you.
Yeah. Therapy's like magic. Yeah.
What's so amazing about therapy, Dave, is it doesn't take a lot of deliberate effort to get that product to just finish off, what you did with intervention. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I find that too. Even we were doing some demos because Mark and Hank came by, so I was doing some demos over beforehand, and we were doing intervention, and I said, "Oh yeah, I see a haze," and but it was just a little bit of a halo-ish around, around the reflection of the light. It wasn't a, like Bob said, the scouring term, I think, was pretty good. And we went straight to therapy because, I said, well, here's the deal. This is not a 3-step. We don't have to go through all 3 of these. Yeah. The idea is you can do a 2-step, right? So you have intervention and therapy. And so, you just kind of switch it out.
All right, so Gabriel has a suggestion for a product. Dave, you need to write a book, apparently.
That would be interesting.
That would be a good book.
Yeah.
My Journey Through Chemicals by Dave Phillips.
Maybe you could do like a whole 2 paragraphs on pH to really excite people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that. I've really I've done that a bunch, and none of them have ever been I've never seen any of them anywhere. They get lost. No one wants, like,
when you really explain pH, they don't want to listen.
No one wants to see it.
No,
everybody likes to think you know what it is. So
yeah.
Good morning in Singapore to BK. Nice to have you on the show. All right, John Martin. Glad to hear you guys had a great show. Trying out release this week. Well, You will be a fan, John. I'm telling you that.
Yes.
John, one day we're going to get you to SEMA. We're going to get you to leave Texas, and you gotta get out of that business, man.
I know you're in Texas, and it's a big sky type area, but we're going to broaden your horizons anyway, John. We're going to get you to SEMA. So 20 degrees and 5 inches of snow in northern Michigan. It's officially awful. Winter in Traverse City. There you go. Different kind of frostbite when it's that cold. Was there anything that impressed you guys at SEMA? Great question. You guys go first.
Oh my goodness. What impressed me? Dave and Bob go first.
We're on the spot. Okay, Bob.
Well, I can tell you this one thing that I was disappointed with. I just never left our booth.
Yeah.
So that's always a frustration about SEMA, is I didn't really go out and explore. So
I'm glad you brought that up, because we did have several industry partners that chose to not do a booth this year. And the thing that I heard so much for them is that it was their best SEMA ever, because they walked the booth, right? And so Auto Fiber, Ian from Auto Fiber, CCI was walking the booth. There was multiple companies just walking the booth. And everything I heard from them was that it was so great because they got to go see each of their partners, and that they actually did more work and it was better. So here's my suggestion, because I do obviously know that it's important to have a booth, and I love the booth and all of that. But I think my suggestion is that for at least a half a day or a full day, that each person is on the run,
I agree.
doing that very same thing. Because honestly, there was so many people that I would have loved to have seen and, like, really checked out their booth, but there really wasn't time, and honestly, like, I'm embarrassed to even say it, but even the rag company, I stopped by their booth and said hi for 30 seconds, but I didn't really check out their booth, and so I think that's one big takeaway, honestly, is that there definitely was a value in being out there, at least in our hall, right? So you could even do a half a day for each person, but go around and like touch all of those people because they don't get to get out of their booth either. And so then you see them running, on the way to the bathroom and stuff. And so that was, I think, the best was, even just hearing, I had dinner with Ian one night and he was just like, this was the best SEMA ever because he got to go around and see the people that he wanted to see and have the conversations that he wanted to have. And so that was probably my biggest takeaway. I wouldn't say that that was, an impressed thing, but definitely a huge takeaway was everybody in the booth should have a half a day to go around and check everything out.
I mean,
for
I would
sure.
say that since we didn't get around, if we were impressed by something, we'd be impressed by ourselves.
Pretty impressed.
Right. Yeah, I was impressed with our
We
booth.
were
Yeah,
impressive.
Well,
Our
I
booth
would
was
say our booth was impressive, and I did get this Friday to go walk.
Yeah,
the show.
Keith. So come
Yeah.
on, share
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, first time in 14 years I walked the show floor, and I got to
Yeah.
see stuff going on. So two takeaways, big takeaways. Number one, we had a really awesome booth. I mean, it was, there's a lot of great booths out there, some really cool designs. But I really like our booth. I think we've
Yeah.
got a place where people can meet with us, and that, that lounge feeling we've created is, I think, I love the fact that we can have the conversations we do. Second takeaway is film is taking over the world.
Yeah.
The world.
Gosh. No
There
kidding.
were over 100 film companies at
Yeah.
SEMA this year.
Yeah, that was
It
crazy.
is all about PPF and it is all about color change wrap film.
Mhm.
It is film.
They were everywhere. Yeah, they were everywhere.
Well, you just think about that. Has got to be one competitive space, right?
Oh yeah, my goodness. Yeah.
Fighting for customers. We think the coating space is tough. Boy, PPF film's got to be like brutal.
Yeah.
Well, now the big thing is color film, right? It used to be you either had wrap, right, which was printed on and color, or you had PPF. Now the PPF is coming in color. I saw that for the first time this year down in Florida when I was down doing some boat stuff. And they're putting PPF on boats that literally is solid colored, and so it makes it look like the boat was painted or came that way. But it's the PPF. So yeah, that's going to be an even more competitive space. But I get it. I mean, when you can do $8,000-9,000 for a wrap, I can see the attraction to it. But I was walking down the aisle and I saw on sale, show special, $10,995 for a plotter.
Oh my God.
I go, I just sell that stuff.
Yeah. Was there anything like in the detail space, Keith, that you walked around, you saw, and you went like, well,
not really, but I mean, I did see, one thing I did experience, I did go check out, PDP has their fragrance-free iron remover. It still has a slight tinge of fragrance to it, but they were spraying it on the show floor and it didn't really have it. So that maybe was the only thing that I saw that was like kind of, all right, somebody got that across the finish line. So that's a win. But no, nothing really stood out to me on that side of things. Even the tool game was a little bit, I won't say, it was just there. I mean, nobody did anything that wasn't exciting, but it wasn't like there was a aha moment with anything.
Well, it looks like there was some reinvention of old technology, which,
Well,
I
yes,
will
I'm going to call anybody out.
Yeah.
Which, and
I will
unfortunately, they took a shot. They're taking a shot for that, which I think is ridiculous, right? But
it's a good piece of equipment, but the difference with it is it's not as big around. It's not a 9-inch pad, so it's a 7-inch pad, so it's a little smaller. But no, I didn't really see anything that I was like, okay, this is going to set the world on fire. Other than I didn't see a lot of people we usually see have a booth. So that was interesting. I don't know if that's going to be a trend where people take a year off or not going forward, but and I did see some folks take smaller spaces this year. So I'm not sure, where that goes.
I did get to go in the back room of Flex, and I did get to see one thing that's coming out that's pretty exciting. That is quite a
But you
bit of a
can't
change.
say what it is.
You just
No.
faked it.
No, but I
Mic
did
drop.
get. I
Something's
know.
coming.
I know. I did get to go see something in their closet, and it was pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about it.
We didn't get in the
So,
back room of
Well,
Flex.
Sydney's
know.
all about getting in the basement and the
You
closet.
got to know the like special knock sequence, and
I
then yeah,
guess, yeah.
yeah.
Well, we'll stick around to the end, folks. Maybe we'll talk about it at the end of the show when we're off air and accidentally not turn off the video. So there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Good morning, Team PNS. The question I have is, how do you view product revisions? Do you silently update any updates in the works? That's a great question, because we've talked for years about, is it BeadMaker 2.0, which we've talked, we're never going to do something like that. So what's our philosophy there, guys? I mean, I know what it is, but let you guys answer it.
So when we're, if we run into an improvement, most of the time we just make a running change. I think, by coming up with version 2, version 3, version 4, you obsolete products, you put stress on your distribution.
Yeah.
And we don't really feel like that's fair. But new technology does come along. I mean, and we do find improvements, and we don't want to save those up. We like to get them out in the marketplace, and we feel like that makes our product a better product. And the neat thing is, you hope people just recognize, not like go wow, but they just feel better about a product as they're using it. It's like, wow, this we haven't, and usually it's not massive changes, but it's the sort of thing that you just still feel good about a product, and you just keep using it, and it helps keep the product fresh.
Yeah.
And occasionally, I mean, we do come up with something where we go, okay, what we would typically do is come up with a completely new product. We wouldn't come up with a version 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
That all makes sense to you too, Bob?
I mean, we would have, you would essentially, Dave, if you found some new raw material that, like, let's just in general say, improve the cleaning or the degreasing ability of a GP cleaner, and you said, hey, let's check this out. And we've used it and tested it, and it's like, the product is 5% better. You're like, we're just going to make that change. And because it's going to improve the product, we're not going to, make a big announcement. We're just like, we like it to be a rolling change. So then we're ahead of the competition. You don't just want to keep utilizing old technology when you have an opportunity to update a product. Yeah.
Right.
But it doesn't happen every day. So I don't want customers to think changing the formulas every day. No, it's not a very common occurrence. But when it is, when it is impactful on a product to help improve it, we'll do that.
Well, and I think like the most common question we get that would be relative to this is, has BeadMaker ever changed since day one?
And not significantly.
Yeah.
But,
right.
there are actually, within the manufacturers, they will make changes, and then they do a rolling, they'll send out a product announcement saying, here's what we've done. And it may end up being something like just better stability. It may not be a performance improvement. It might just be a better, more stable version, so that, we have less trouble with shelf life, and our customers just have a more consistent product.
Yep. And typically with new product, we sit down with the team and go, what do we want? There's a space, there's an opportunity in the market. We want to try and develop a product. And then, Dave goes on the hunt for a raw material, or we try and look at how we put pieces together to get to the result we were looking for. I think release is a perfect example of that. We've always had an anti-static in a paint gloss, but how do we incorporate that into something that's really focused at the fabric space? And then, what do we need for properties? So it's usually, if we're going to do new product or market a change to something to repurpose it, it's a whole new product, right, Dave? I mean, that's kind of the goal.
Well,
and
obviously release is a whole new product. There's nothing similar between
a
them.
lot of people did walk in the booth and say, is release paint gloss? I'm like, no.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, absolutely not.
No.
But they do share one common trait in that anti-stat property, but that's it. So All right. Good morning to Dad's Race Pumpkin. I got to tell you, we saw Jason in a lot of stuff this year. He got out of the NorCal space, but we didn't see him at SEMA. We missed you at SEMA, Jason. So
We did miss you, Jason.
Yeah. All right, Chris Spence, maybe an offline question, never an offline question around here. We may just refuse to answer. But what are the differences in your P&S partner types? Traditional, storefront, online. Want to start reselling P&S products in my shop. Well, I think one of our most successful programs ever, Bob, was the storefront program, just from a perspective of customer engagement. So storefront is really designed for a partner who wants to, more like a detailer who wants to resell some product in their shop, has a showroom space, wants to utilize that to grow their customer engagement beyond just detailing, but answer the question, what do I do to take care of my car after I've detailed it? And then our traditional partners are those who we would define as buying and reselling our product as their primary business. So I guess that's my best way to define it, Bob. What do you think? Did I hit it on the head there?
Yeah, I mean, we created storefront so detail operations could resell product. But I think one of the things we need to be clear to the detail shops, very few are massively successful. It's very interesting. The storefront program is marketable, but very few, become, like a successful distributor, because, the detail operation is exactly that. You can peddle some product afterwards, but, and a lot of them do buy one time and find out, they're not going to sell anything out of their detail operation, or some buy it and it's very successful. It just depends on the operation, depends on the location. Yeah.
But Chris, if you're interested in that, reach out to me, Keith at PS Sales, and I'm happy to have a conversation about, is it a good fit? Is it not a good fit? What do you think you want to do with it? So we try to have a meaningful conversation before we just, start those programs, because like Bob said, what you're looking for that and what the definition of success is for you is different by customer. So, all right, here we go. Did make it home, chat. Well, good, chat. I'm glad you made it home. 15 delays and 1 flight cancellation. Switched airlines, got home 7 hours late. Thanks.
Gosh. Well, I'm glad you got home.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. And in that case, you almost feel like you want to pull a Josh Pearson drive home. So,
yeah. Yes, the TSA line at Las Vegas airport, you can see some good stuff with people trying to get home.
Especially 6 a.m. I mean, that is the time, right? Because most people at that point go, I got to get up at 4 to get to the airport. Oh, I'm just going to roll this thing all night.
They never even went to bed. Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah.
They never even went to bed. Yep.
Yeah.
Too funny.
It is a true sight to behold. It really is. All right. Okay. Walter. I need to translate out. I'm going to copy this in my translate. I got it.
Pardon me while I let the dog in.
But that was about Guatemala. I can tell that because Guatemala's in there. So I will say it was wonderful to have the team from Guatemala in the booth. I'm super excited to see P&S in the next 8 to 12 months get into Guatemala. So I'll say this for all our international partners. It's a different business for us to get product into other countries, and just because they have requirements that maybe we are not aware of. So a big credit goes to a lot of our international partners who bring in the brand. They do a lot of work behind the scenes to make sure it's done legally and done correctly and it's registered. And there's a lot of work that goes into that. So thank you to our international partners, especially. I'm always reminded at SEMA how much work they do beyond just buying a product and getting it to our customers, to get it in their country, to make it available. So really cool to have them in the booth and tell us all the things they overcome to make it happen for our customers. All right, Gabriel, the day I'm allowed to fly, I will be on the plane the same day to see you all. Perfect.
Nice. Can't wait.
Yeah. I hope he's not banned by the TSA.
No.
Dave, happy to have a local distributor in Maine. My fave is Carpet Bomber 3-step. Looking to try the rehab. Great products. Thanks, Dave.
Let us know.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. Aaron's like 70s all week in Denver. Ski resorts are barren.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
Bob, you're going
It
to
was
have to
so
plan.
cold here this weekend, but I think we have 60s all week, so
Yeah.
I'm happy about that.
Yeah. I had a dry weekend, which was great because it was leaf mageddon here.
Yeah, I bet.
4 inches of leaves everywhere. So
Can't even imagine.
more to
Oh
come.
yeah, no, I wish I saw a picture.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I
you
can
should
send you a picture of half picked up leaves if you want.
you should have done a time lapse, Keith. It would have been good.
I know. I need my own YouTube channel, The Leaf Guy. I'll call it.
Yeah.
All right.
All
So
right.
SEMA is over. Will there be anything different coming up for MTE? I would have to say we still have some ideas in the hopper and some products we are working on. So yes, I make no promises on timelines because getting stuff across the finish line really depends on did we really get it to where we feel like it's something we can bring out. So, but Dave's got some toys in the toy box that he's waiting to play with. So
Yeah, we had have a few things that just didn't quite make it to SEMA. So we're hoping they're ready by MTE.
what's the biggest difference between Envy and Therapy? A ton. Go, Dave.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a different formulation. Different abrasives, different formula base, and Envy was great for when the idea would have been for Envy to have been Therapy, but unfortunately, I just don't think we were quite had all the little subtle formula changes we needed to get Envy to do that. So that would be an example, right? I mean, we of the earlier question where we could have just taken Envy and maybe made changes and kept it as Envy, but in this case, actually, the number of things that changed, and they didn't really. What Envy was, Therapy was not an evolution of Envy, but there were so many. It's so different that we needed another product. We needed a different product.
Plus, we need to take that paint correction system and push to the side and bring in new technology, right? I mean, that was the main thing. We were so impressed with rehab that we had to build off of that.
Yeah. So Sid, as an operator, what's your primary feel of difference between Therapy and Envy?
Envy for me, I never really did like that 3-step paint correction, and it really it wasn't necessarily a final polish. Like you couldn't go straight from a compound just to Envy. It didn't usually work, but it was a great jeweling polish. I used Envy a ton as a high spot corrector, and it was great for that. So I think for me, Therapy does that as well, or maybe even a little bit better, but then it's also a final polish. So it kind of, takes down one additional product for me, but also it goes back to the wipe off and everything, right? In the paint recovery series system, it's just newer technology. And I mean, the scent in it also, I would use Therapy for any given reason if I could find one, just because of the scent. But yeah, exactly, right?
Concealer, a little concealer.
Yeah, yes, yeah. Maybe it'll hold my face. Yeah, that'd be
I
great.
could use a little today, Dave.
Yeah. So it's kind of, I mean, it just is more of a multi-purpose product, and Envy was great, but I mean, Therapy is just the next advancement in technology and purpose and stuff. So it's just great.
Sid, to go back to one of the shining moments at SEMA in the morning, we can all use the Therapy light today, right?
Yes. Yep. The Tron mask.
The
Yes.
Tron mask, as I call it. Yeah, Therapy is both paint and aroma therapy. So
yes,
it's that good. All right. Ron says, I used Release, Absolute, Rehab, TrueView, Reflect, and Defender detailing the Toyota Sienna. Release made getting the dog haircut of the vehicle easy. Yes, I like that. I like that.
Hair out of the vehicle easy. I like haircut.
Yeah, dog haircut. That's what it is. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Can Defender be used on a windshield? We got Reflect.
Yes, the answer is yes, you can use it, but Reflect is just a little bit better. But yes, before we had Reflect, we used Defender on glass, and it was great too. But Reflect just does a little bit something different.
All right. Ryan says, as a new guy who's just a hobby, want to be detailer, is a one-step okay before coating a car? Which product should I order
Yes.
and which pad or pads? Okay, ready, set, go.
Boy, we
Rehab
set
and a
ourselves up for
blue.
success on that, right?
Sydney, isn't this
Sorry.
custom made for you?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think she
so
planted
that's all
it,
I do.
honestly.
Yeah, it's all I do. So I'm going to say rehab and a blue pad if you're new. I use the maroon pad the most, but I would use a blue or an orange also is fine. So really any three of those pads with rehab, you're going to be able to get away with a one step and it's going to turn out amazing and you're going to love it.
Yeah. And if you've got a hard paint, you can probably ramp all the way up to the microfiber Oreo pad that we use. We get pretty awesome results with that in the training center regularly on harder paints. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean that's the beauty about rehab. You just tune the pad to the outcome, and we do it all the time. That is the magic bean, is a one step and then coating. Yeah. All right. So we didn't talk about this. We really should. And I want to say thank you to all of our team, Doug and Andrew and everybody. Good morning, Andrew, for coming in and being the demo team at the ATG booth. You guys were awesome. It was so cool to walk over and go, Andy, this guy wants to know about whatever product, and just leave him with Andy. And I go, here's a real detailer who does real detailing. Go. And just let those guys do what they do. And it was so awesome to have them in the booth. So thank you to our demo team. You guys killed it all week. Jason, Andy, Doug. Who am I missing here, Bob?
Bobby,
Jamie Buchanan.
Jamie Buchanan. Yeah, I'm surprised Jamie didn't
Rennie
damage
was
the paint with that watch. But
yeah, I mean, thank you, Keith, for reminding me. I got to send out a thank you email. Yeah, it's like, they just naturally fit right in. That's what's so great, right?
Yeah.
Well, it was fun to have them not in P&S gear and have them in their own, branding. But I mean, gosh, those guys just were so great and they engaged so well with the customers. It was awesome. So, all right, Todd Hill, how long should you leave release on before vacuuming?
30 seconds.
Yeah.
I let it sit just for a few seconds.
Yeah. I would say if you're really going to vacuum the whole car, you could probably put your layer down, on all the fabric and then come right back and start your vacuum. Wouldn't you, Sid?
No, maybe not, because if you're using release, you're probably got, if you have dog hair and stuff,
Well, that's true.
I mean, you like it just a teeny bit wet. So if it's real bad, I would maybe do half a car, but I usually just do section. I do section by section. Yeah. But I usually spray it and then, go get my vacuum heads or whatever. But yeah, so I leave it just a little bit. I don't do it right away, but just a couple seconds or whatnot. But I wouldn't necessarily wait 5 or 10 minutes, which, you could definitely be that long before you get to that section.
Yeah, especially if you're taking the dog haircut out, for sure.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
All right, here's a tech question for the show. Something wrong with the live streams questions. I don't see half the combos. Some of the combos are coming from Facebook. Some are coming from YouTube. I don't know if the comments cross-pollinate. So that may be
sure. Yeah.
Speaking of which, now we're on to, here we go. What impressed me was Sydney's matching shoes to the outfits. Yes.
It's always a thing.
Shoe game was strong with this one. Yes.
It's the reason she needs such a big bag.
Yeah. I probably had 140 pounds. When I went home, it was 50 and 40. And then my backpack at least weighs 40.
Oh, your backpack weighs more than that. Don't even start with that.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it was brutal.
I know. Someday we're going to do a Sydney unpacks her backpack. We're going to see what's really in there. I think there's an anvil and some blacksmithing tools in there. So.
I don't know what's in there.
That's right. But you guys wanted me to instruct you on the backpack and how to put a little less stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's left over from my through hiking. I'm down to. I try and keep my hiking backpack down to about 12 pounds base. So
yeah.
I think I carry it through to my work
I would be
backpack.
Horrible at backpacking.
We were walking behind Dave, and I'm like, "Does he have anything in there? What was
for many reasons?
Yeah.
Not just backpack.
True. Fair enough.
Sorry.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What would be your trail? We'll have to
That's
come up
a
with
joke
a trail
downstream,
name.
right? I mean, that's like, yeah.
Diva.
One
She
thing would
just
be no sugar
Yeah.
coffee in the morning. That would be the
Yeah.
deal breaker.
But we can.
Yeah.
I think I got your trail name already. We just go for Diva.
Yeah. I think,
Oh
all right.
gosh.
So
Yeah.
Myron's
Totally.
asking
That's
about
name
the
of the
Reflect
store.
glass finisher. He says, once you use it, can it use on a regular basis, or can you use it just regular glass cleaner? So I think the question is, can you use it as a regular glass cleaner, and how often can you use it? Does it build up, kind of thing?
So you can use it is a treatment and it is durable. So yeah, you can definitely use a regular glass cleaner, and you're going to have the slippery effect from Reflect, between uses of it. So I don't think you need to use it every time. And in fact, yeah, I think it's kind of a good idea that TruView is a wonderful glass cleaner. It's very it's more affordable, economical, works great. And dilutable and all that sort of stuff. So I think between uses, switching to TruView is a great idea. Everybody, do you guys agree?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
All right. So Kirby says, I agree with Sydney. The P&S team need to walk around at least the West Hall to see others and drum up those to drop by your booth. Yeah. Well, I don't think there's a lot of vendors out there who wouldn't love to go check out everybody else's booth, but we all do have to man our own space first. So,
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So T-Top Tommy, I think, is that right? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
When will the undressed bottle be in stock? I tried ordering it for months.
Well, I will look. I didn't know it was out of stock, but
Yeah, that question just depends on where you're trying to get it from, Tommy. Are you trying to get it from our website or your distributor?
yeah.
I haven't noticed that it's been out of stock on our website, but we'll check.
Yeah.
Good morning, Mr. Kolb. Good to see you.
Good morning, Rick.
All right. John Martin has fired back at us. Would love to, guys. Move to a new shop. Congratulations, John. That's awesome. Starting another company to launch in spring. You guys will definitely need to come down for the launch. Well, we got a lot going on in Dallas this year, so I'm sure that we will be down there at some point this year. So, yeah. All right. Best logo in the business, Mr. Pearson. Great seeing you at SEMA, sir.
Yes.
I enjoyed our conversations the other night.
Yes. Dave, did you get to chat with Steve?
No.
Oh, darn. He was all over the place.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Got to do it. All right. Let's go. I never have any luck with questions unless Sydney is here. But going back to never responding to questions.
I think we respond to all questions.
We try to.
Yeah.
User release after 1 month of neglect. Vacuum head easily glides over impossible carpet.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, Amber. Yeah. All right. So
I love that we call it impossible carpet. It's my favorite.
The back room of Flex was just me giving maple syrup shots to people. Surprise ruined. There we go.
Darn it. I was trying to keep it.
Maple syrup and tools. What a combo. All right. Hi, Dave. I replied to your email on Saturday, China. So that is Bruce.
Okay.
Oh, I did see his reply.
That's good. Good. That was a long time ago. Yeah, that's great. Good.
Yeah. Yeah. He had a great response. I did see that as well.
To my work email yet, so that'd be great.
Okay. All right. On another suggestion, a good and safe glue remover. We have seen many films and PPF. There's one day that I have to be replaced. That's a great point. We've always used Solvent X as our tartar and adhesive remover, but maybe that's a space to think about. So we'll put that on the list.
Yeah, there's so many restrictions about glue removers. It really hampers the efforts. But, and then you've got, the good and safe part, right? Safe is, you've got strong solvents trying to remove difficult stuff. And then you've got VOC regulations, DOT regulations. It is definitely a challenge.
Yeah, it's definitely smack the effectiveness of glue removers due to VOC and DOT regs. Yeah.
All right. Joe Hudspeth is asking us, with your two-step paint correction method, are you speaking of, what pads are you using?
So primarily I'm starting with either like maroon or like I said, I usually jump up to a wool or a microfiber. And then with therapy, my favorite pad is the white pad or the black pad. Either one of them, they're going to work
Mhm.
equally. Personally, I tend to grab the white more just because of the firmness of it, but they both work equally as well. But usually on therapy, you're going to end up with a black. Yeah.
Yeah.
But really, I mean, it's one of those things you can use whatever pads you have and like and work. I mean, it's all pretty versatile, but if I'm going to use intervention, I'm usually going for a heavier cut pad just because if I'm grabbing out intervention, it means I'm really going after something.
Yeah, I know. This is probably one of those questions. There are as many answers as there are detailers, right? I seem to grab the Oreo pad a lot when I go to
Yeah.
intervention.
Yeah.
I just feel like, well, I've got purpose, right? I'm
Mhm.
gonna get right after this.
Mhm.
And then for therapy, usually that's going to be a harder paint. So I will pick, not quite as soft as a black pad. I'll pick something a little bit more like an orange pad or something.
Mhm.
Yeah, everybody's got a different answer, right?
Yeah.
Believe it or not, on the softer paints, I find the wool pad with intervention is really effective with that stuff. So
I will also point out that Sydney's experience in this is about maybe 400-fold mine. So
Yes, but remember the day we were all, it was December, and we
Mhm.
were all at PNS, and we took the soft foam on the rear deck of that Audi with rehab, and we went like, what just happened?
Yeah.
So it's just, it's every
Yeah.
situation seems to be different. Yeah.
I think Dave has a secret bucket of magic somewhere and he just puts it in all the products. So
Yeah.
that's just my thought. All right, here we go. Do you have anything in the works similar to BioBomb Minis? I have used those with your 3-part carpet system, and it is an awesome combo.
So, it's kind of
I'm
an
gonna
interesting
let Dave
question.
take
If
this
I
one.
could figure out a form factor, I do, because everybody has walked into my office for the last 2 months has gone, what's that? Because, I mean, there are some, we do have kind of a neat thing sitting in a beaker, but I'm not quite sure how to pronounce or present it to the public yet. But boy, it lasts a long time and it smells good. Bob's come in several times.
So,
Yeah.
Dave, what they're talking about, do you know what the BioBomb minis are?
Yeah, they're the little fragrance things, right?
No, those are just
I'm sorry.
BioBombs. Yeah, so the minis are the tablets of the what's it called? The
Chlorine
Chlorine
dioxide.
dioxide.
yes, it's tablets of
Oh,
that
I
people
saw one. I thought it was a fragrance thing, but
no, but that's made by BioBombs. So those are the
okay,
BioBombs. Yeah, those are the
got it. All
fragrance
right,
bars.
good.
No, these are like the little chlorine tablets, and people are putting them in the carpet system and they're putting them in express interior cleaner. And so now here's what I'm going to say. I know you and I have had this
Careful.
conversation before.
Yeah.
Here
Not
it
a good idea,
comes.
but I will say it. I use them when I really, really need to. So in the event of unfortunate circumstances, but meaning like through a person or a dog, I will use them and they work great, but they're totally, in my opinion, unsafe to be
Dave,
breathing
mixing
in.
chlorine with chemicals, is that a good idea?
Yeah. Well, it's chlorine.
Sorry, I just threw that out there.
Yeah.
Right.
It
No,
works
it's
in the
more,
pool, but
yeah, it's
Chlorine
more the
dioxide.
breathing
Yeah.
of it
You,
because
you,
it's,
you can
yeah,
get
it's,
toxic gas out of these things.
yeah,
And that could be a big deal.
yeah, use
yeah.
a well-ventilated area, folks.
Right. So have I used them? Yes, I think they're great. I use them like twice a year and I wear protection, the whole bit. But I have seen a lot of people using them on the daily, and that makes me really nervous. I will say that makes me really nervous. There's a reason why when we're running that full system, whether it be the biobombs or in our case, we have the odor doc, it's the same exact capsule, right? It tells you to stay out of the vehicle.
Yep.
Right? So
Yeah.
now if we're putting it in a steamer and we're blowing it and it's now going into our face, I mean, one, you need to make sure you're wearing protection, and honestly, only use them when and I'm talking like, unfortunate incident. Don't use it on the daily.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. We got to go to the speed round. We are past 7:30. So here we go.
Yes.
All right.
Oh,
So
wow, we are,
Wellness
yeah.
Detailing. Thank you. Hi, guys. Rick Kolb. Yes, we are looking forward to seeing you at MTE. Everybody at MTE. We do have a PNS booth at MTE, which will be a little different than what we did this year. We're all in that kind of team booth at ATG. We will have a designated PNS booth at SEMA right next to the ATG booth. So we'll still be together. We'll just be kind of
back to back.
Flag. Yep, back to back. Good morning, Andy Stilley. Dude, Andy, I love, by the way, Andy texts me or sends me messages all the time. Dude, keep doing that. I love to hear what you're doing. So keep that up.
Yes.
All right. Andrew Van Order. Therapy can be a one-use product. Perfect product for new vehicle polishing and smells amazing. Yes, on all counts. I love that. All right. Andy's saying, I'm seeing a strong similarities between rehab and the last cut, with the exception of rehab wipe off being so easy. How did you get the wipe off of rehab so easy, Dave? Wow, so nice. I'm still saying it's magic. That's my answer.
Yeah, not gonna spill those beans.
We're not even going to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
Dave, I think you just should use magic. I mean, that's
magic.
Yeah,
Yes, Kiki.
Yep. Kiki, man, it was awesome to have you there. So, all right, here we go from Nathan. Good morning, guys. I'm wondering what the dilution of Inspiration Radiance is. The bottle says 6 ounces for each gallon. Some online say it's less than that. The label is wrong. I appreciate the response. This was a hot topic of conversation in our booth this week. So, Dave, Bob, go.
It was. Well, Bob, we discussed this, and you had, I thought, a good answer.
Well, I mean, for optimum performance, you use 6 ounces, but you can use less. I mean, there's no reason you have to go to 6 ounces. It's for the total experience. Where you put this on the car and then you hit it with the hose and the water rumbles off. It's
and then we're considering it a maintenance, coating maintenance wash. We're going for added detergency where there's a few things, but if you're if your car's not that dirty, there's no reason you have to do it. I think we need maybe a label change or an adjustment that gives a little bracket for it.
Right.
Yeah. Then the thing I'll say is, yes, it seems like a lot of product, but my answer is you're putting on a protective layer, in that wash process. It's built in, right, Dave? So, I mean, you are getting two things in one. Sydney's back there smiling. I'm waiting for a comment.
You're shaking your head.
No, I'm not. I just, I think use what your heart tells you to use. It's because I'm a girl, I'm a baker, and so I'm like, measure with your heart. Like, it's okay.
Well, I laugh about this because with the amount of carpet bomber we have, we all say dilute 8 to 1. Nobody dilutes their stuff, right? It's like,
measure with your heart.
I mean, hey, RTFM, read the free manual. But if you're not going to read the free manual, measure with your heart and just follow the Sydney method. So there we go. Yeah. All right, bouncing in here. Joey and I would need to be Sydney's Sherpas if she ever.
Yes, I would.
The problem is,
Dave, I would rent you a llama if you took Sydney on a hike.
In Sherpa shape. I'm sorry, I just had to throw
it. Yeah. Well, it's like it would be the one hit episode of Survivor. It would be over in one episode. That's the good news.
I'm telling you, there's a Sherpa.
For anybody that wants to invest in that show, it'll only take one episode.
There's a llama farm down the street. I will rent you a llama if you go on a hike. So,
we are looking at a hike that goes. It's called the Camino de Sonoma, and you can stay in hotels every night.
Nice.
Oh, so, that's bougie. That's my kind of camping. Yeah, there you go. I'm there.
Yeah. That might work for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Good morning, Kyle. SEMA was awesome, Kyle. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Rick Kolb. Hey.
Okay, our website. Okay, Tommy, we'll have to look at that.
All right.
Yeah, that could just be a restock issue, so we'll have to look at that for sure. All right, Steve says, Dave, I was bummed to miss you at SEMA. It was my first SEMA. There was just so much to see. Yeah, the first one can be overwhelming for sure. All right, Gabriel. Dave, I'm sure you can make it. It's not the first time you surprised us. So always. How can you determine paint hardness?
Oh gosh, you just know. Um, you can't really determine the hardness. I think a lot of that comes with knowing manufacturers and, like for instance, Mercedes is going to be crazy hard, right? And so you just kind of know, but you can tell as soon as you start working on it. If you start polishing and nothing's moving, it's probably okay.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
You should start seeing some scratches go away, and if they're just not, you go, okay, well that's obviously a
Yes.
hard paint.
Yes.
Yeah. And conversely, a soft paint, you start using something like a medium pad with a rehab,
And
and
you're
you
gonna
get
see,
haze instantly.
yeah,
It's pretty soft. But
yeah,
like BMWs, hey, 3 series and below are going to be soft. They're going to be hard 5 series and up. It's just kind of
yeah.
knowing what the manufacturers do with their cars. So it's just time. So. All right. Carl had a great point. Yes. To clarify, I used for trash cars only for the little mini bio bombs. Good call out, Sid.
I do not mix them with the chemicals. Good deal.
Yeah. I will see you at MTE. Yes.
Wow,
I
Jason.
wonder if he might fly to that one. So
I hope so. That's a
I
long way
hope
to
he
drive.
flies to that one. Because
Jeez.
Carl will
Yeah.
die if he drives.
Yeah.
all right. Awesome. We're going to get that email out from that's awesome. All right. Andy's laughing at us. Good deal. My first tattoo might have to be measure with your heart.
Yes. Let's do it, Alex. I'll go with you.
Little bottle pouring into the other bottle, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we got 2 comments left here. Let's see what they are. All right. Sorry I missed you guys at SEMA. Meanwhile, I got a new customer using all PNS products, including ceramic coating.
Sweet.
Stout. Way to go, Tony. That is
Nice.
Tony with Quality Car Care. Love having Tony on the feed here. The matte wrap vehicles. I understand the Defender is the protection product. For wash, can I use Epic waterless wash? You can use whatever you want. I would probably, for a matte finish vehicle, go with Pearl or Absolute as probably my primaries. Tony, maybe body wash would be fine as well. You're putting the protection on after the fact. So as long as it's clean, you should be good.
Yeah. Yeah. So I will say, because I have matte wrap on one of my vehicles, I think, Tony, I would mix up Absolute as a waterless wash instead of using Epic. Epic has a wax component in it, so it has a little bit of protection, and it's going to take a little bit more work to work it in. You can certainly use it, but it's going to be a little bit more work than, say, Absolute would be as a waterless wash.
Yeah, I would probably agree with that, and I think it's a easier way to clean a car. So
I did get that question a bit. People asked me if you could use Absolute as a waterless wash, and it was obviously we do a lot.
Yeah. Yep. 128 to 1.
Yep. Very versatile. Okay, we're at the end of the program. So where are you going to be next? What are you doing?
Well, I have a stout class in Boise on November 21st or 22nd, actually, I think. So that's where I'll be.
Yep.
How about
Bob
you,
and
Keith?
Dave, you're at the mothership.
We're at the mothership. Yeah.
So I've got Coos Bay this Friday with Tom, our great distributor down in Southern Oregon. We're going to go to the coast this time and do a stout class. And then we've got it's Spanish language classes set for next week at the training center. And I might pop in and join Sydney and Boise next weekend. So, and then we head into kind of a little bit of a break for Thanksgiving. And we have early in December this year, we have our training week at PNS. So, and lots going on with the training center. Maybe we'll have some fun videos of what's taking place there by then.
Hopefully they'll start construction here pretty quick. Yeah, we're hoping.
We always like construction.
Yeah, we like construction. So,
yeah. What else we got, Sid?
I think that's it. It's just going to be a busy
it's like
couple.
our brains are a little deflated, right? It's like, what we got next? I don't know. We're just trying to recover from what we just did. Right?
That's kind of the thing, right? It's like everything you go, oh, let's think about that after SEMA. So we're going to start thinking about it.
It is definitely after SEMA. And I want to say thank you to everybody who came by the booth and saw us. Again, thanks to our demo team. It was great to see everybody at SEMA. There will be a little turbo lag on the catch up, but we will get back to everybody who wanted to be a partner and join the team, and stay tuned. We got some cool stuff coming. Black Friday's coming up, Sydney. I think we're trying to work on some stuff for that. So definitely not putting any brakes on or taking some time off here. We're going full speed. So with that, we will see you guys in 2 weeks for Bead Maker and Coffee, and that'll be the Thanksgiving week edition.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right,
Cool.
guys.
Well, thanks everyone.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
guys. See ya.